Hey, Taurus rising. This is your new full moon and Scorpio lunar eclipse forecast for May 5th through May 19th, when the next new moon will be. This is in your first house of identity and self. Okay. I'm sorry, the sun and Uranus are in your first house of identity and self. The actual lunar eclipse is in your seventh house of relationships. The way that works is the first house, Taurus, for you, your rising sign, is me. The seventh house, Scorpio, where the lunar eclipse is other people. So, what are you confronting? You're perhaps confronting the way you feel about relationships. Do you have any that disempower you? Have you had any experiences lately that you're needing to integrate with regard to relationships? Now, the ruler of this is Mars in Cancer, and that is in your third, which house is it in? It's in your third house. Yeah, one, two, three. Third house of local community, short trips, siblings, the way you make decisions, the way you communicate, the way you talk, the way you kind of go about daily life. So it almost is making me wonder if you're disempowered in a relationship, perhaps, and need to communicate it to someone, communicate whatever you're feeling, especially with Mars being in your third house. Now, the sun and Uranus in your first house of identity and self, and Mercury retrograde there, are all about newness, new identity, new sense of self, new sense of autonomy and independence. But this is almost a completion in the relationship category. And Mars and Cancer in your third house is really helping you to mentally understand that and get it together, feel into it. What is my next move? That is the nature of Mars and Cancer. So you may be talking a lot to people about relationship issues and about your emotions, and that's the appropriate thing to do. Making sure to tune into who you are now, what your values are for yourself. So the next couple of things that I want to touch on with this is the fact that Taurus, Mercury, and Uranus, and the sun, all in Taurus, are ruled by Venus. Venus is in Gemini in your second house of finances. And that is a really good thing because it looks like Venus is bringing some balance to the place where Mars retrograde kind of brought in a little upheaval, or a little frustration. So your finances seem to be leveling out, or something can become yours that maybe wasn't before, is what I'm kind of intuiting. Venus and Mercury are in mutual reception. You know exactly what you want and how to get it. The rub comes from allowing yourself to communicate that there is no more disempowering relationship you're going to be having. We're done with that. Okay. So yeah, letting go of something you are in relationship with, and then the decisions you need to make around how to deal with that, and letting your intuition guide you. All right. Well, the other thing is, before I leave, I want to talk about Venus moving into Cancer for you, because that's going to bring some balance to that area. So if you do have decisions to make, at least Venus in Cancer is going to be helpful with that. It's also going to trine Saturn in your 11th house of goals, networking. And I think that's going to be really good. Maybe you feel like getting back out there after this eclipse season's like done. It's like, okay, good. The eclipses are done. Now maybe I want to start socializing again for a minute. So that's going to be really nice. The Venus in Cancer, it's going to sextile Mercury and the sun at some point, and Uranus at some point in your first house of identity and self. And it's going to trine Saturn in your 11th house of networking and goals. So that's going to be really, really great for you. That's going to be best around May 13th. So if you have, publicity you need to put out, or something like that, you need to talk to people about something, make decisions about something with regard to your goals, May 13th is going to be a really good day to do that. And then the other thing is Jupiter moves into Taurus May 16th. That's going to be great. Jupiter in a Venus sign. Yay. But it's going to square Pluto immediately. So this is from your first house of identity and self to your 10th house of career, public reputation. Okay. Sooner or later, Mars is going to move into your fourth house of home and family. and Leo, and that's going to make a grand cross. That's after the next new moon, but I'm just giving you a little advance warning. So this could be a power struggle. It's like, I have this new identity. How do I communicate that or translate that into a career? And then Mars moving into your fourth house may be about the emotional nature of that change. It's like, I need to push for career. I need to feel good about my home, my family, my roots, my emotional security, my identity, my career. It's really fundamental for Taurus risings because it's on your angles. So just something to think about in advance. But Jupiter in your first house is going to really expand that independence, autonomy, authenticity, and identity stuff. And by nature, it will also perhaps boost relationship things as well because it is in your first house opposite your seventh house. All right, well, I'll catch you on the flip side for the new moon in Taurus, May 19th. Have a good 2 weeks.